It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got the Battle of Cornwall. Two of the largest breweries in Cornwall, one being independent in St Austell with their Tribute Pale Ale of 4.2% ABV. And the other being Sharp's Doombar Amber Ale at 4.3% ABV. Both 500ml bottles. Sharp's Doombar is in a clear glass bottle, some of it being produced in Cornwall, some of it being produced in Burton-on-Trent. Now, before I start this video, I want to talk about the magnificent growth, if you like, of these two breweries over the last 13 years of me reviewing beer. I think when I first started reviewing beer in 2010, Sharp's was still an independent company, but they were about to be bought by one of the largest beer companies in the world. That's actually Molson Coors Brewing Company. And since then, they expanded and expanded. They had a fantastic brewery. They have a fantastic brewery. It's huge now down in Cornwall. And the same can be said for St Austell, but St Austell have done it independently. They've done it with their own money and their own hard work. They've gone from being a small regional brewery to quite a large establishment. I mean, you see Tribute all over the UK now in bottles, but when I was first getting into beer, you had to kind of phone up the brewery or order it online from St Austell. So the growth is fantastic between the two companies, one being a massive conglomerate, a massive, huge brewing company, the other doing it independently. So let's get these beers out then into a glass and see what we get. Sharp's Doombar then. So this one's coming in at 4.3% ABV, silver bottle cap. Look at the smoke on the bottle opening. When I went down to this brewery in 2012 to brew a collaboration black IPA with them, they were still, you could still get hold of Sharp's. It was like a Brewer's Reserve series of beers, and they were specials made by the then head brewer, Stuart Howe. He was still allowed to produce different beers. He produced Saison, Belgian beers. They were terrific, really terrific. Well, I went down in 2012 and brewed a black IPA with them, which was pretty good. So here's a look at the beer. Then we've got a one finger whitehead, good levels of carbonation, amber in colour. Now, I've never been down to St Austell. I passed their brewery, I passed St Austell back in February of this year when I went down to St Ives Brewery to brew a double IPA with St Ives. And I couldn't see the brewery from the train, from St Austell. When we passed through on the train, I couldn't see the brewery, which was a bit of a shame. I had a little look around. I did see some old kind of stone tower building, and I was wondering if it was that, but my mate who's Cornish said no, that wasn't it. So Tribute is called a pale ale, it's 4.2% ABV, so there's 0.1% in between these two beers. But there's not much in terms of the colour that's different, I suppose. Well, actually there is. There is quite a magnificent difference in it, this Tribute being a pale ale. So we got a 1 to 2 finger whitehead, good levels of carbonation. Yeah, definitely looking like a light golden pale ale coloured beer. The reason why I chose to put these two beers up against one another is because, well, there is a rivalry there. It is Cornwall. It is the growth of two Cornish breweries, and I thought being 0.1% ABV between the two beers, and probably having a choice, going on holiday down to Cornwall and having a choice on the bar between a Doombar and a Tribute, you know, you're kind of working out which one you want. So I'm going to try and help you. aroma on the Doombar. More of a traditional, slight hoppiness coming through though, a little bit of hoppiness there. But nice kind of crisp malts as well. A slight biscuitiness coming through. It smells pretty good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. I'm well aware of the taste of this. I play snooker on a Wednesdays, and they only have Doombar on where I play snooker, so I drink about 3 or 4 pints of Doombar every week. It's not a bad beer. It was probably a little bit better years ago when it was an independent company. It's a little bit tinny, it's a little bit copper-like, but it's not too dissimilar from the cask version. It's a nicely carbonated beer that's unoffensive, malty, biscuity, slightly hoppy on the back end, incredibly drinkable, nice and refreshing, with a little bit of a nice mouthfeel there too from that nice malt kind of taste. It's not a bad beer actually, Doombar. I know people slate it, but I just find it inoffensive. It's a bit coppery, it's a bit tinny, it's a bit metallic. Let's try the tribute. Now this might completely kind of blow Doombar out of the water. Let's have a look. Let's get the aroma on. Tribute. It's a different style of beer. But again, it's that choice. You're on the bar in Cornwall. You're wondering, shall I have a Doombar or shall I have a tribute? You're kind of working it out. So, as a guide, this is much more of an American style kind of pale ale, if you like. Much more of a hop profile coming through on the nose. Good drinkability. I haven't tasted it yet, but you can tell it's going to have great drinkability. Light, crisp malts. But a little bit of grapefruit in this one. A bit of grapefruit on the aroma. With a little bit of crisp malt. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Actually, it's lighter in terms of the malts that they've used. It's not the once big hoppy beer that it once was. I used to love Tribute back in the day when it was they are still a small independent company, so not a larger one now, but when they were very, very small and when you had to order their beers online or only buy them regionally, that's when, for me, Tribute used to shine. Tribute used to be a fantastic beer. Now, it's, again, a bit like the Doombar, it's been dialed back a bit. You can pick it up in every supermarket in the UK now, I imagine, without Lidl and Aldi. I don't think you can find these beers in Lidl or Aldi, but it's not as good as it was. There's a little bit of a grapefruit hop flavour coming through, and then there's a little bit of crisp malt, but that's it. I mean, it's a lot tighter actually. It's a lot tighter than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking, being a pale ale, kind of American looking style pale ale, I thought with the malts being lighter, this was going to absolutely batter Doombar. But it's not the case. It's not the case. Although it's a different style of beer, it's not as kind of mind-blowingly good as I thought it was going to be, or I remember it to be. I think if I went on holiday in Cornwall and I went into a pub where they sold both beers, I think I'd probably have a couple of pints of Doombar, and then I'd probably have a couple of pints of St Austell's Tribute. One being, the Doombar being more of a malty, traditional, kind of replaced Worthington's cream flow type beer, this, didn't it? It definitely replaced cream flow. But it holds its own. This is a much tighter battle than I thought it was going to be. I'm quite stuck here, to be honest. The Doombar, I mean, it's solid. It's solid. I've kind of drunk it playing snooker week in, week out, and I've learned to enjoy it. I've learned to enjoy the stuff. I'm going to say 6 out of 10 for the Doombar. It's average at best, you know, 6 out of 10 for the Doombar. Seven out of 10 for the St Austell Tribute. So the Tribute wins, but there wasn't much in it. There really wasn't much in it. I hope you liked the video. I hope this has helped if you ever go on holiday to Cornwall and you see these two beers side by side and you have to make a decision. I hope this video has helped you a little bit along the way. But I hope you like these battle videos that I'm doing. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.